All right, same day, a little bit later in the afternoon, back in the garage. We're gonna lift the car up, put up this box here, and install the Turner Motorsports sway bars, front and hopefully rear. I know on some cars, like rear sway bars are really difficult. Again, you gotta drop subframe and all that. If it is that difficult, I don't think it is, but if it is that difficult, I'll just do it at the shop. I won't do it here. Front one, I know we can knock out, shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, so that's the plan. I'm gonna jack the car up and get moving. Okay, so to give you guys an idea of how it's rubbing with the 10 mil spacers, I mean, it's like so minimal. I feel like, honestly, it would end up just going away after it rubbed through. But yeah, obviously you don't want to like run it like that. So I'll be safe with 12 mils. Unfortunately, 10 mils ain't gonna cut it. Same on this side. Dude, it's like tire. Like I can rub it off. That's how minimal it is. So it does rub. It's just very slight. All right, so if you guys remember when we just did the suspension, here's our trusty sway bar. And the nice thing is we get new bushings right here too with the new one. And these are toast, man. Those are dunzo. Pretty much all bushings in this car are just crap. So that's where it connects. This guy right there. And then it's just 2 bolts on each side right here. And like for the most part, man, it's pretty easy. Super accessible, right by the steering rack. Just pop out that guy right there. That guy right there, that guy right there, same on the other side, and then it should all come down. Obviously you want to do them like all at the same time, and you don't want to do it while the car's on the ground because it can end up binding up, just like when we did the suspension. So we're gonna go ahead and knock that out, and then we will lift up the back, start working on that, see what that's like. This one should be pretty easy though. I love that Turner Motorsports and I are sharing the same love and appreciation for a blue that is seemingly very close to Laguna Seca. Therefore this car is gonna look great underneath and on top. Okay, simple enough, we got it off. The bolts in here are a 16 on the end links, and then these are little 13 millimeters that hold up the bushings right here into place with this bracket. We're gonna reuse on this. This one's much thicker than that one. It's gonna be much more durable. So you'll notice that we have 2 holes here. This is gonna be obviously less aggressive and more aggressive. It's gonna be a little bit tighter steering when we put it all the way in. I think that I'm gonna start off with the lesser of the 2 and get the alignment based on that and see how we like it. And if I wanna go further, then we go further. But yeah, so we'll have new bushings, which is nice. And then we will reuse these. I'll clean these up so they're a little bit cleaner. But yeah, it's pretty easy. So we'll throw it right back in the way we pulled it out. Okay, time for the rear. I'll show you guys the setup here. I actually disconnected the struts just to make things a little bit easier and made some last minute changes to the height. I ended up going a little bit higher in the back because it's sitting pretty low. The way that the back is set up here, the rear, nothing quite like Matt Mormon's E36 build that's pristine. This one has been driven. So the way that this rear sway bar is gonna work comes right into the link right here. There's no bolt there. It's literally just a pass through and a bushing. And then we have 1 bolt up top here. And then it's 1 bolt on the other side. And that should be it. We kind of have to like finesse it through there a little bit. It's got to go over the exhaust. You kind of have to like snake it around. If I just release that bolt back there, that will actually drop the entire sway bar. It's a 13 on both sides. You have to use a wrench, come up from the bottom, and then use a ratchet on this side. So this bolt, it's a 13 bolt that passes through, and then a 13 nut on this side. So we're gonna take the socket, lay it on here, and the impact, and hit it from this side, and it should come right out. So you don't need to worry about it dropping down or anything. There's going to be a little tab on the bottom of it that holds it in. So now that the 2 bolts are out on this side, I do have that bolt out on the other side. I'm going to go knock this one out on the other side, and then we can get underneath and just lift it up from those little tabs, push up, and then kind of finesse it out through the exhaust area, like above the exhaust. It should be good. This thing sucks, dude. There's like no room to get this thing out. So that's what you're working with. Putting everything together here, I'm just kind of guessing as to what goes where. But if you look, we have this pass-through bolt now. So we're getting rid of this little peg, which is awesome because it's gonna make it a lot easier to reinstall it. I would go ahead and put these links in first, and then we'll install the sway bar and put the bolts on the underside of those links in with the sway bar in. That's gonna be easier than trying to finesse the whole thing with these links in. So I just went ahead and put these back in. It's convenient for me because I already have the spring out and I was like working back here anyways. But man, with that spring in, like this would suck. This would for sure suck. So I put the struts back in, just like threaded the bolt a little bit just so it's holding everything up at the same height on both sides. You also don't want this like just hanging here. Now that I have the bolts back in and that is all good to go right there, we can go ahead and make sure that you lube up the links that are in there. So I lubed up the link. And so now it's just a matter of putting the pass-through bolts in, like through here, and then also putting in the 1 bolt, the factory bolt back here. When I say that part sucks, I mean that part sucks. You've got to get that pass-through bolt with 2 washers on there. And yeah, I ended up using a longer bolt for the top. Little ones that come with it, these guys are just like way too difficult. I ended up going with a longer one. It just made the job a lot easier. And then you got to get those guys in. Have fun with that. Those suck. We did it. What's up, guys? Future Editing John here. That's right, we installed the Turner sway bars front and rear. I know for a fact that this makes a really big difference when it comes to actually driving the car. I haven't driven the M3 yet. There's so many things I've been doing to the car, but we just haven't gotten to the point where I can drive it yet because there's still more things I need to do to it. But I know that I've done this on like my M2, the F30. It made a really big difference on both of those cars. And for sure, it's gonna make a big difference on this car because it's such an older car. The parts on it are just in such bad condition that upgrading to these bars is gonna be a lot nicer. So the install is, it's not too hard. It just takes a little bit of time. It's very like tedious, but it's not too difficult. If you have the tools to do it, you can definitely get it done. But yeah, I'm just kind of like banging out some of these install videos until we get to like the more fun stuff. So just bear with me. If you guys are interested in buying this Turner Motorsports front and rear sway bar, I highly recommend it. I'll have it linked down below. That is effectively gonna wrap up this video. The next video is the roll cage, bro, and it is sick. Can't wait for you guys to see it. But I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Peace.